Hi, this is Brian with Mid-Century Sabers. I'm going to do a quick demo for this Watto's Junkyard Laser Master. This Laser Master has been modified by me with a series of custom shrouds, as well as some off-the-shelf greeblies, a custom D-ring, and then a one-of-a-kind brass band that I've adapted a Saber Merchant pixel switch to. The pixel switch is the main, and then on the bottom here we have a red switch for the aux, some aluminum black, as well as some brass black on the neck. It's actual brass. And then I finished off with some Renaissance wax. There's also a little bit of battle damage here on the grip. And I also have a custom blade plug, which I'm going to include with the hilt. So the chassis is actually a Tierfon Orbital chassis that he originally designed for this hilt. I printed it in black, matte black PLA, and then I did his technique where I mix ebony and pewter, actually ebony and pewter rubbing buff, and I did a pass of that, and then I finished it and the hilt with the Renaissance wax. It features a Profi V3, a 6-rail PCB makes connection with the PCB on the inside of the hilt. Got a Smuggler's Outpost 28mm base speaker, and then it uses a 18650 lithium-ion battery. So we're going to take the battery, and then, just so you know if you don't already, flat side is your negative, and it goes against the spring. We'll put our spring in. And I'm going to flip the kill switch up. Now the white and blue diodes just flash back and forth. This is similar to Luke's hilt from Return of the Jedi, the red and green arrows. And then, like I said, there's 2 buttons here. Bottom is your power, top is your aux. You can kind of use the chassis outside of the hilt. Now, if you are messing with the chassis outside of the hilt, just be aware not to be pressing on the board as you're pressing the top button here, because the gyroscope will basically react and it'll actually change the sound. But it probably won't hurt anything, but just be mindful of that. So, to get access to put the chassis in, just turn these 2 greeblies. Put some lubricant on these threads. It's a little bit of a thicker lubricant. It feels a little tight, but it's still nice and smooth. You take your chassis, and you can turn it any direction you want to. Slide it in the hilt. And then I have a 3D printed piece of plastic that's going to kind of help hold the chassis into the saber. And then we're just going to screw our pommel cap back on. And when it stops, you can turn just a little bit more, but don't over tighten it. I know the lube will probably kind of prevent it from locking up, but just be mindful and just give it a little bit of extra turn when it meets the when the metal meets. And we'll be ready to go. Set this up with twist on, twist off. You can tell it's a pretty loud sounding hilt. Aux button for blaster defense. And then power button. The power button should light up the same color as the blade. That's how I've set it up in the config, and it should match all the different blade styles that I have. Now, a couple things that I wanted to point out is that this neck, and I actually have a spare hilt. The blade holder is comprised of 3 pieces. Your shroud, your blade holder, and then this brass piece which holds your PCB. And I have placed some blue thread locker on these threads, so it should be okay. It shouldn't like loosen up as you're kind of playing with the hilt, doing some clashes and taps. And be mindful, this is more of a display hilt. It's not meant for dueling. You don't want to just go heavy-handed with this thing. But if for whatever reason that does loosen up, I'm going to include a tool. And this tool just, actually, let me take the blade plug out. I'm going to include the blade plug. I think I said that. And it's just a simple PETG base with a lens, which kind of goes with the laser theme, and then a bearing. But anyway, there are notches in that PCB holder, and then if this ever gets loose, you just put this in here, and you give it a good tighten, and tighten it up. And this is a nylon print. It's pretty strong, but it is a little flexible, but hopefully you'll never have to use this. Okay, so we're going to go to a first-person point of view, and we're going to give this thing a 12. Okay, this is the first time using this FPV camera, so bear with me. Okay, so we have our chassis in, battery, kill switches on, and we just need to put the blade in. So you want to loosen your retention screw, and then your 1-inch blade, rest it on the PCB pins. Now, this blade is just slightly loose in the blade holder. So what I've been doing with just using the one screw is I've just been pressing in on the blade just slightly. You don't want to crank, you don't want to slam it down in there and break the pins or actually seize the pins up. So just a little bit. Tighten your thumb screw and you're ready to go. Now, if you want and not press down on the pins, you can use a secondary blade retention screw, and that has worked well. So you want to tighten both of those. But here we are, we're ready. So what we want to do is, I'll actually show you how to change your fonts or your presets. Is that while you're holding the saber up, you're going to go forward.
Smooth gray. Smooth Jedi.
And you go down, we'll go backward.
Smooth gray.
Mercenary.
And then power button. Yep. And then you can't tell with all the other lighting here, but that lights up red along with the blade. Tap for blaster bolt and blaster deflect. And then you want to hold that and then clash the hilt to get a blade lock up. And then we're going to go back to the first font.
White. Purple.
Now this has Kyberphonics Savi's Workshop package. He just basically pulled the Savi's Workshop lightsaber fonts and then added smooth swing to them. Really enhances them. The blaster deflect leaves a little to the imagination, but everything else sounds pretty good. So I included those. Let's go back to the beginning.
Red. Green. Blue.
A little Vader on here. Now, I don't remember what I have the volume set on, but if you want to change the volume, you just press the power button and hold it and then tap the aux.
Enter volume menu.
And then, let's see, I guess away from you is up, and then towards you is down. Find where you want it, press power again,
Exiting volume menu.
and you're good to go. Now, the battery level is the opposite. You want to press and hold the aux, and then tap the power.
Battery level 84%.
All right. And so that is your Watto's Junkyard Laser Master hilt. Thanks.